And talofa lava.
Talofa lava.
Talofa to you, Wayne.
Parks in our area that still haven't been done.
Look, we'll get this started. We've got a quorum because I know how busy your lives are, everybody. Just wanted to acknowledge and welcome our staff, our members of the public who are here, especially Phoenix, young Phoenix over there. Just want to welcome Phoenix and obviously your councillors and independent multi-statutory board members. So look, we'll go through the agenda. The apologies, I've got the apologies and they should be up there. Phoenix is okay. So,
I'll move, Mr. Chairman.
apologies. Yeah, I'm just going to... okay. Look, I've just been advised, and my humble apologies with this, Councillor Cooper, before I put those, is that Matua Glenn Wilcox is no longer on this particular committee, so I just want to mihi to Renata, who is replacing him. So, look, welcome, Renata, to just to finish off this particular part, Councillor Hulse will be writing a formal letter on behalf of all of us to Matua Glenn, and just to thank him for his contribution over the many, many years on this particular committee.
Mr. Chair, at 10 o'clock I'm just going to nip downstairs for a meeting. I'll be back thereafter, so I will be out of here at 10 o'clock.
So I'll return back to the apology. So it's been moved by Councillor Cooper and we can read it on the screen. I will second that. All those in favour? Aye. Against? Carried. There's any declaration of interest? No, there's Simpson, second. All those in favour? Against? Carried. There are no petitions. There is no public input. There is no local board input. Extraordinary items, there was none when we ended up with the agenda. Notice of motion, there are none. I will now move to item 9. Look, before we get to item 9, for those members that are here, we'll be continuing the workshop that we had yesterday after this particular meeting.
Through you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Yes, Councillor Walker.
Oh, I see on item 12 you didn't want me on public input. That's fine.
No, we wanted a specific item for you, Councillor Walker, because we will be riveted with your presentation. Okay, so item 9, our Pacific People's Advisory Panel. Talofa atu lawafionga tau pepe Ralph Erika Male Faletua Lingi Harris Pulavinaka Nathaniel and more than to you, Louise. What I've just is acknowledged both the chair and deputy chair and Samoan. They are both Samoan, so I've just done that and acknowledged them, and especially the chair who has a Matai title, Simon title. Welcome.
Ia o te whātalofa atu le pa ia maulunga le nei aso, ma ia maunga te tele se ia pa ia maunga iti, ma le whio mai, ma tala mai au. Haftai le lofa le atua, ua tai ina lau tau so i fumana wia, lo whionga au, le tai whona whapea fwoi le pa ia malu le tau ofisa. Ma sui a okilangi. Malo so fumana wia, ma langi a ma Kiorana, malo le lei, Nisa Bulavanaka, whakalofalahi atu, and good morning. Thank you, firstly, just thank you for your time, and thank you for this opportunity. On behalf of myself and our Deputy Chair here, Caroline Lingi Harris, just really grateful for this opportunity to share more than anything else about what we're looking to do, not just over this year, but over the 3-year term. Warm welcome to all the councillors and to the committee members and everyone present here. I also like to acknowledge some of the colleagues from the other panels here as well, from the Rainbow panel and also the ethnic community panel and any other panel members that are here. Much appreciated to see you all here. It's fantastic to have us here to provide an opportunity to share and to voice some of the priorities that we have moving forward for this great city of ours, Auckland. So just straight into it, I'm taking that a lot of it has already been read. So a key thing for us, as you'll see there, you'll see with some key priorities, especially around increasing that civic participation and leadership of Pacific peoples within and outside of council. As we all know here, it's no secret that the participation and the presence of Pasifika within council initiatives and just with council things in general is abysmal. And so a key focus for us moving forward is to utilize our experiences, our insights, and what we've done to ensure that we can increase their presence, increase their engagement. We also would like to contribute heavily to the Council's diversity and inclusion strategy. I think Auckland Council is in a perfect position now to be a key stakeholder for the nation in terms of providing that benchmark and setting that standard. And I think the fact that there is now a framework that's integrated into the very fabric of the council allows Auckland City to be that representation for larger mainstream New Zealand and other organisations. So again, I commend those that have put this forward, and to ensure that it's not token and it's not just a tick the box scenario. I think having a lot of us involved, the various panels, will ensure that there is real substance to what we're looking to implement moving forward. So thank you for that. We're also obviously looking to support the council's health and wellbeing initiatives for Pasifika, for our community. And saying that we're not naive to the fact that some of the things we're bringing up here are central government orientated, but we're also well aware that Auckland City is what it is. It's a major mover and shaker, and it's on the government agenda. So if Auckland gets it right, then pretty much the nation will fall in place too. No, I shouldn't say that, just in case. So. But so scrap that from the record, scrap that. But again, it's just again, for us, it's just getting behind those initiatives that are relevant for our Pasifika communities. We're also looking to advise on council policy and strategies for environment and sustainability. And again, advice in that terms is from a Pasifika lens. One of the blessings that this particular panel, under the leadership of Councillor Filipaina, a key thing of this council is that we have a wide cross-section of the Pasifika community. So we have people that heavily involve grassroots, we have corporate representation, private sector, public sector, and education, and youth, and health. So the beauty of having that is because we've got a wide cross-section, it allows for a multiple reference point for many of the issues that you present before us and many of the initiatives that we have a look at. So looking at the lens, it's a Pasifika lens that's not just limited or confined to grassroots or to a lot of the cliche assumptions that people may have or mainstream may have as to what a Pasifika is concerned with. What this allows for is a multiple lens where a lot of us come from various backgrounds, various cultures, but again, the same heart. So that's the beauty of a lot of the stuff we're looking to do. We also would like to affirm Auckland's recognition as a vibrant Pacific city. Again, it just goes back to that diversity inclusion strategy. And again, hence the reason why I acknowledged my wonderful colleagues from the other panels, some Rainbow, Ethnic, and other ones that are here today. Auckland is very vibrant, it's very diverse, and we strongly believe that a lot of the Pacific really enhances that image for Auckland. You can see here, even with the recent Rugby World Cup, I know we shouldn't have brought that up, but even with a lot of the fanfare, yes, there's probably 0.2% of that go over the top, and coincidentally that swallows up 90% of the media. But for the other 99% of the celebrations and the passion, the commitment is specific. It's the colour, it's the flair, it's actually what's added and really helped to make it a spectacle. And you can see that passion, and again, that's the type of people we are. We're very passionate people, we're vibrant people, and we bring that to the forefront. So that again is a key priority for us. The focus areas for us, and these are focus areas for the whole term, for the 3 years. What we try to do is to ensure that we were focused. We are well aware of the positively influence the council initiatives for affordable and quality housing and advise on housing options for Pasifika community. Number 2, to reinforce and influence improvement of the council's existing community and economic development initiatives. They have a high impact on Pasifika, primarily youth, employment, health, and education. And finally, to provide culturally specific strategies that will increase civic participation and leadership of Pasifika in council initiatives. So, as you can see there, as focused as it is, it's also quite wide. But you know, that's the beauty of working in a group. Everyone wants to ensure that that their own priorities are actually merged in with the overall vision. So these are our key priorities moving forward, and I think for us, in order to make this reality, it's virtually asking all of you here to be open to any opportunities, initiatives that you believe we can be involved in. We have a talented group. It'll be great for us to be involved in any sort of programs or task force or groups that are linked directly to any of those 3 priority areas for the panel. So I think that's pretty much our presentation at this stage. Just giving a look around, because as you can see, I get told what to do, so which is a good thing. I know my role, pretend to be the man, but not. So that's us. Again, thank you very much. And at this point, would love to just receive questions, and would like to just engage and to clarify or explain anything at this point. But again, thank you very much. Malo lava, loa fionga, au Filipina. And also to all the councillors here and the committee members and guests here, thank you very much for your time, for your presence. Thank you.
Yeah, whawhatai lava loa whionga. I'm just going to ask if Ling, if there are any comments, and also invite before I get questions, and I've got people putting their hand up already, but also the lead officer Louise Mason and the deputy lead Nathaniel, if there are. So Lingi, you, and then I'll invite the lead officer and deputy, and then I'll go to our questions. Thank you.
Whawhatai lawa le awanoa, ma lore soifua, ma lore lei. I also have another side which is Tongan. So I just want to thank you for this opportunity. I suppose the thing that I wanted to share, just take up a little bit of this time, is actually to highlight that the Pacific panel members, that we're really committed and we're really excited, the opportunity that we're given to, and we're also very passionate about Auckland. So we're very talented. We've got people who have knowledge about housing. We've got ex-policy people. So in terms of, and how we see in terms of our leadership, it's all about service. And the reason why I didn't really talk, because Ralph has got a ula. The necklace that he wears is actually the orator's necklace. So in Samoan culture, it's usually the men that speak first. And if there's an opportunity opened up, and then that's when I come in. So I sort of cover the gaps that he might have missed. So in terms of the spirit of the leadership that we bring as a panel, it's about service, and it's about what's best for the communities of Pacifica. And so I just wanted to put that at the forefront. So thank you for this time.
Thank you. Louise, open up to you, and then I'll open up to questions. Councillor Walker will be the first.
Thank you, Alf. And just to support what Ralph and Lingy have said, there's been really comprehensive discussion by the panel around these priorities, and the 3 focus areas that are at the second part on the work program really reflect, I think, a desire to also have a lasting impact over those 3 years, not just to respond to the priorities that were coming through from Council's work program, but also to make an impact in those areas. There was a lot of discussion about what role Auckland Council can have in relation to central government, and really, you know, honing in on that. So that's something that was discussed in quite a bit of depth by the panel. The only other comment I'd make is just to support what Ralph and Lingy have said about the calibre of this panel, and that they bring a breadth and a depth of experience that I think is really valuable in giving a Pacifica perspective on many of Council's issues. So, you know, it's been a delight to work with them to this stage. Thank you.
Okay.
Nathaniel, do you want to add?
Nathaniel.
Thank you, Alf. Nothing further to add rather than say looking forward to supporting Louise and Ralph and Lingy and the panel.
Okay. So just welcome Councillor Watson and Councillor Walker, followed by Councillor Newman.
Sure. I've just got a question that goes to the work program. One of the issues that's acknowledged as an outstanding issue for the Pacific is sea level rise and climate change. Fiji is now taking a lead role around that, and obviously a number of island nations are significantly affected. Is that something that you're going to be integrating into your work program?
Thank you for the question. I think at this stage, to be honest, it's given as I alluded to earlier, just around the term, the 3-year period that we've got at this stage, we're going to be very focused on the issues, the prevalent issues that are affecting the Pacifica community right now in Auckland City. So we're very focused on Auckland City, Auckland initiatives at this stage, but definitely in terms of all of us, we definitely have a link to what's happening in the Pacific. I mean, I personally work in the foreign affairs space, and I'm in economic development in the Pacific. So I was recently at the Pacific Island Forum Leaders meeting in Samoa, and that was what we all talked about. We ran conferences along those lines. So there's definitely an awareness of it, but in terms of this specific panel, focusing on climate change issues in the Pacific region, highly unlikely, to be honest with you. It will just be focused on Auckland initiatives, what's actually impacting our people right now, right here within the city, within the 3-year term.
Okay. Through you, Mr. Chair, I'd suggest one of the reasons why I say that is it's highly likely that Auckland will be one of the prime locations where we will see migration.
That was a good question, so you don't need to answer it. Councillor Newman.
Good point.
Thank you. Good morning. One of the, closer to home is my inquiry, but one of the things that I would continue to welcome the Pacific Panel's contribution on is our stewardship of the council cemetery space, and in particular the need to ensure that we are continually focusing on best practice and organisational improvement around practices that are culturally safe in relation to the cremation and interment of our loved ones, the treatment of families, our stewardship and maintenance of our cemeteries, particularly at MMG and at Gatland Road,